Hi everyone, and welcome to my race review of the 2021 Revel Mount Lemmon Marathon. I did the marathon, but they also had a half going on at the same time. So in this video, I'm just gonna start it off with what the whole experience was like from packet pickup to mile 26.2. And so I don't forget anything, I took some notes. So this was my first experience with the Revel series, and after the first quarter mile, I was sold. They just pick really beautiful places to have their races, and also they give us an advantage called gravity because most of them are net downhill courses. So again, it was my first Revel. I'm sold on Revel, and it was my 121st marathon. And I'll just jump right into everything from packet pickup to mile 26.2. So the packet pickup was actually held outside a running store in Tucson, and it was run really well. They kept us all socially distanced. Everyone had a mask on, and they really spoiled us. So the start of the race was at the top of Mount Lemmon, which was about 8,000 feet, and it was freezing. So in all of our bags, they gave us throwaway gloves, they gave us a Mylar blanket, and they also gave us this sweet mug or cup, glass, whatever. And I mean, I thought we were going to have to pay for this because they did have them at the packet pickup, but that was a nice little reward. So the packet pickup was run really well. And the next day, so they actually had a race on Friday and then a separate race on Saturday. And in the marathon, I did the marathon on Friday, so packet pickup was Thursday for me. And then anyone that did the marathon or the half on Saturday, their packet pickup was on Friday. So it was really well organized. And in the marathon that I did on Friday, there were 233 runners. And I'll tell you how I figured that out. I didn't count everyone getting on the bus. So race morning on Friday, we started boarding buses at the high school, and it was well spread out in that on the bus, everybody sat one person per seat, and then like opposite of wherever someone was sitting across the row. So the bus was not jam-packed. Everybody had their temperature checked before they got on the bus, and everybody had to wear a mask on the bus. And then I think the waves went off at least every half hour or every 15 minutes. And we literally ran on the shoulder of the road, and there were cones outside of the shoulder, so we ran between the cones and the shoulder. And it was really well run. They had one runner take off at the chip mat at a time, and the views were just amazeballs. You'll see later on, I'm going to incorporate some of the pictures and videos that I took. But I really feel like they did a great job of keeping us as safe as we could be. And even at the aid stations, the volunteers, they had masks on. And we as runners, we just had to wear a mask, again, when we got on the bus, when we were approaching the bus, on the bus, before the start. And then once we crossed the chip mat, we didn't have to wear a mask anymore. And they discouraged anyone from running side by side. So you just had to pass as soon as you could. And then we had to wear it in the finish line. So the only thing I would change for the race directors is, with all the races I've done during COVID-19, I think volunteers are already giving a lot of themselves. In a lot of the races I've done, the runners or the athletes have to wear a mask at the start and the finish, but I also feel like it's respect for the volunteers that when we get to an aid station, we should also put our mask up. But all the volunteers had masks on at the aid stations, and the aid stations had, I don't remember the electrolyte they had, but I'll put it in the notes, but they had water bottles and bottles of electrolyte, and the volunteers had already loosened the caps for us. And they also had, pretty sure they had porta potties at almost every aid station. They had honey stinger, and they even had Ben Gay at some of the aid stations, which I haven't seen since high school cross country. So it was a blast from the past. So going back to the course, again, we started 8,000 feet, and I it felt like from the beginning that I was in like the Flintstones, because there were just all of these big boulder rocks or Land of the Lost. And I don't know if it's because I'm from Chicago and I run on the Chicago lakefront and I see the skyline, I am around skyscrapers, but I am just in awe of mountains. So yeah, once the gun went off, once I crossed the chip mat, I just could not take enough pictures, and I was just in awe of the beauty. And the other thing is, it's like you can smell the trees. It just smelled so wonderful. I tried to capture it in my videos. You'll have to let me know if I succeeded. But again, the course was so beautiful and very, very net downhill. The only thing I would do different the next time I do a Revel is try to practice running on downhill or do strength training to help alleviate the pain of downhill, because the race was on Friday and I could not walk normal until Tuesday, and I even did ice baths every day. So okay, so back to the race. Again, you'll see all the great pictures that I took. I kind of didn't want it to end because it was so beautiful. We come into the finish line, and my friend and I, she was there. She could have gotten a BQ. She's been training so hard, but maybe 14 miles in, her hip flexor was like, And so we just conservatively walked the rest in. And so we were one of the last finishers, but coming into the finish line, it was like we were winning. I mean, they announced our name. There's all this loud music. It was awesome. The other thing I'm going to add, that one great thing about this Revel race was that all the pictures that the professional photographers took on the course were included in our registration fee. So even at the finish line, they took pictures of us together. And I think it took 2 or 3 days till we got all the pictures from the course. But yes, we crossed the chip mat, and I mean, we crossed the finish line and we got these ginormous medals. And I forgot to mention, this is the shirt that we got at Packet Pickup. And I love it because I don't know if you can tell, I'm wearing it with jeans because I have so many race shirts that are just for training runs. So I really love the shirt they gave us. It's nice and soft, and it's jean friendly, and it's even breathable enough to run in. So we crossed the finish line, and even the bag that we dropped off on the bus before we got to the start line, our own drop bag, we crossed the finish line, and one of the volunteers brought us our bags, because you know how like just getting to 26.2 is tough, and then having to walk afterwards. So again, I felt like an elite. And then you finish, and then you get a little printout of your results. So that's how I found out there were 233 marathoners running the marathon on Friday. So yes, I got a printout, and I haven't seen printouts since like the late 90s or the early 2000s. That's what we used to get at races, let alone in cross country. We would get popsicle sticks, but that's a whole nother video. I want to give one more shout out for the post-race food. They had it catered, and it was not, I'm going to put in the notes who they used, but it was not your typical bagel and banana. It was like a real meal. And my friend Sherry and I, like, we ate, we didn't leave any crumbs. It was great. It was like one of the best meals after. So I give this, I give it like 10 thumbs up if I had 10 thumbs, but it was really well run. It was a beautiful course. A lot of my friends that I know that ran either the same day I did or the next day, they got PRs and or BQs. So check out Revel, and I'm hoping they bring this one back. It was a limited edition of Mount Lemmon, but otherwise I'm going to check out the other ones and take a look at the videos and the pictures that I took on the course, and then leave any comments if you liked or did not like. And I hope to see you at the races. Hi, my friends. I just started the Revel My Lemmon Marathon, and it is beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at that. The video doesn't even do it justice, but I had to share. And obviously I'm going uphill right now. As Jim Carrey would say, it's beautiful. Can't you just smell the trees? Oh, I'll take some in for you. This is definitely one to add to your list. Good job. Here's a little bit of our free mileage, as not just I say, but even Ryan Hall. I saw him at the Boston Marathon Expo at a clinic, and he talked about how Boston has a lot of free mileage because going downhill is less effort. But look at these views. Then I'll get back to running. Look at that. What a view! Oh my gosh. Someday I'll get back to racing.